The Cincinnati Bengals find themselves in the AFC Championship game once again, and this team is really hot. The offense is clicking on all cylinders, and this defense continues to show us why this is one of the most underrated defensive units in all of football. We're going to be talking about why the Cincinnati Bengals shouldn't be allowed to keep doing what they're doing, and why I wouldn't be surprised if they went on to win the Super Bowl. But welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to join the crew. Also, stick around until the end and drop a like if you enjoy. The majority of you watching my videos aren't subscribed, so I'd really appreciate it if you hit that button. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, and make sure to turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out on new content. And please share it. The Cincinnati Bengals are one of the hottest teams in the National Football League. They came into the playoffs on an 8-game winning streak and went on to win against their divisional rivals in the Baltimore Ravens during the wild card round 24-17. The Bengals followed that win up with another W over the Buffalo Bills during the divisional round 27-10 and won that game fairly easily. If the Bengals pull off the win over the Chiefs this weekend, it would mean they've gone 3 months without losing, which is totally ridiculous. Their last loss came in a 32-13 defeat on Halloween night against the Jacoby Brissett-led Cleveland Browns, and the Bengals have been on fire since. The wild card game against the Ravens didn't go as I predicted. I thought it would honestly be a blowout. The Ravens were without former MVP Lamar Jackson, and I figured the Bengals would handle them easily due to the fact that they had won so many games prior. Y'all know how these divisional games can be sometimes. They're always so tough and so grimy and physical. Some even made the argument that the Ravens would have won if they had Lamar Jackson under center. Nonetheless, Joe Burrow and the Bengals found a way to win and got the job done. The game was pretty nick and tuck from start to finish, and Baltimore actually went into the half up 10-9. The Ravens received the ball after the half and quickly went 4 and out. Joe Burrow then led his offense on a 12-play, 83-yard drive that was capped off by a rushing touchdown by Burrow. They went for a 2-point conversion play to T. Higgins and succeeded, making the score 17-10 Bengals. It didn't take Baltimore long to answer though. Tyler Huntley quickly answered in 5 plays, throwing a 41-yard touchdown pass to Demarcus Robinson to tie the game up. The Bengals quickly punted the ball back to Baltimore after just 3 plays, and this is when the game got crazy. The Ravens started their next drive on the 18-yard line, then managed to drive the ball all the way down to the Cincinnati 1-yard line. Tyler Huntley goes for a quarterback sneak over the top, fumbles the ball, and then Sam Hubbard was off to the races, 98 yards going the other way. Huntley had the ball punched out of his hand, and it was just an all-around disaster of a situation for the Baltimore Ravens. Anyways, Hubbard went down 98 yards for a touchdown. The Bengals went up 24-17, and that was it. Their win over Buffalo in the divisional round was more impressive to me though. They went into the game down 3 starters on the offensive line, and Burrow was barely touched. I predicted that the Bengals would win this game, and I was of the mindset that the Bengals would have won in that regular season game that was canceled due to the incident to Damar Hamlin. Anyways, the Bengals won this game fairly easily, 27-10, and the Bengals just exposed the Bills all around. The offensive line straight up whipped the Bills front 7. The Bengals defense gave Josh Allen a ton of problems, and Joe Burrow was just going up and down the field on the Bills defense. It was like he was playing in rookie mode. I didn't know how Joe Burrow would look like in the pocket down 3 starting offensive linemen, but we need to start giving him the benefit of the doubt because he literally just went to the Super Bowl being the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. It's clear as day that the Bengals look like the best team in the AFC and may be the favorite to win it all. I know that the Eagles and the Chiefs both have quarterbacks that were in the MVP discussion, and the 49ers have both the top 5 offense and the top 5 defense, but there's just a certain way that this Bengals team gets down, and trust me, nobody wants to see them. It's even gotten to the point where many are saying Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the league, and he has a compelling argument for it. Burrow finished the regular season with 4,475 passing yards, which was 5th in the NFL, 35 touchdowns to 12 interceptions while completing an efficient 68.3% of his passes. In just 2 games this postseason, he's thrown for 451 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. He also has a touchdown on the ground. He leads the 5th best passing offense. The team is also 7th in points scored and 5th in red zone touchdowns. I've heard some talk about Joe Mixon and how he's looking a bit washed. I never understood that. People would say look at the numbers, and to me, 814 yards on the ground isn't terrible to me, especially when Mixon missed multiple games due to injury this season. I know he only averaged 3.9 yards per carry, but this offensive line was a below average unit all year, and when you look at his stats, that's not even the lowest in his career, but he still found the end zone 7 times on the ground this season, and he had a career high in receiving numbers all around the board for the most part, and people don't even talk about this. He finished with a career high 60 receptions, 441 receiving yards, and a 31.5 average receiving yards per game, on top of 2 receiving touchdowns. This playoffs, he's currently at a career high 4.6 yards per carry and has already scored a touchdown on the ground. Jamar Chase just keeps showing us why he deserves to be in the conversation as the absolute best receiver in football. This guy's an absolute stud and managed to still have a really good season despite missing multiple games due to a hip injury. Chase finished the regular season with 87 receptions, 1,046 receiving yards, and 9 touchdowns. He now has back-to-back 1,000-yard receiving seasons, and this is already aligning him into being one of the best receivers to suit up for the Bengals, and this is only his 2nd year in the league. T. Higgins is nothing to sneeze at either. He would be a number 1 receiver on 90% of the other teams in the league, and the Bengals are definitely lucky to have him. Higgins finished his junior campaign with 74 receptions, 1,029 receiving yards, and 7 touchdowns. This also means back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons for the 24-year-old receiver, lining him up for a bag this offseason. They also have a few other nice offensive pieces in Tyler Boyd, Hayden Hurst, and Samaje Perine. Tyler Boyd is one of the best slot receivers in the league, and Hurst is quietly having a very effective season at the tight end position. He's a sneaky good run blocker and has good hands for a tight end. Burrow looks for him often. Samaje Perine is also a nice complementary back to Joe Mixon. He's a strong runner with good speed and is great catching passes out of the backfield. The defense is very underrated and they're continuing to play lights out. They're 6th in points allowed and have been a very good team in the red zone all season. They hardly give up touchdowns down there. They have studs on all 3 levels of the defense, and they may not have big names, but they'll get after you. After only winning 6 games in 2019 and 2020, Zach Taylor has went on to finish with back-to-back 10-plus win seasons as the head coach and continues to prove why he is one of the better coaches in this league. This team clearly believes in him and his philosophy, and the results are showing. It does help when you finally have a franchise quarterback playing for you, but you can tell that this team plays for Zach Taylor. I'm also going to give offensive line coach Frank Pollock some love too. I know his offensive line unit hasn't been good over the years and nearly got Joe Burrow killed last season, but whatever he told his group prior to the Buffalo game worked. When I tell you that they straight up whipped the Bills' front 7, I'm not even exaggerating. The group executed the game plan so well. They kept Burrow upright and imposed their will all game long. Let's see if this continues. I appreciate everyone who stuck around until the end of the video. I put a lot of time into this. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and join the crew as well. And please share the video. Also, let me know in the comment section if you guys have the Cincinnati Bengals over the Kansas City Chiefs this weekend, and who you guys have winning the Super Bowl. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.
Thanks a lot. Joe just came over, said the job is not done, but what a performance from start to finish. What can you say about your offense, your defense, that offensive line that everyone talked about coming in banged up? How did you get it done tonight?
Man, complete game from everybody. Offense, defense, special teams, domination from start to finish. That's what we expected. Job's not finished. We got another big one next week on the road. excited for it.
We talked about it yesterday, just that chip on your shoulder. Everyone talking about a neutral AFC Championship game, not even thinking about you guys. How much did that motivate you coming into this?
You better send those refunds.
And then finally, you're off now. Another road trip, this time to Kansas City, a rematch of last year's AFC Championship. Your early thoughts on that one?
It's going to be a fun one. You know, two of the top guys in the league, two of the top teams in the league. Great defenses, great overall teams, great coaches. Going to be a great atmosphere. Excited to play in it.
We'll see you there. Good luck.